Let's talk about Rose McGowan, one of the very first people to publicly accuse Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault, and in doing so, she helped ignite what would become the #MeToo movement. At the time, her decision was both courageous and risky. According to Rose, her life and career were never the same after she came forward. She says that once she spoke out, she was effectively blacklisted from Hollywood, completely pushed out of the system that had once embraced her. She claims powerful industry players worked behind the scenes to discredit and silence her. Eventually, the situation became so hostile that she left the United States entirely, moving to Mexico for what she described as safety and peace. Early on, she accepted a $100,000 payout in what she believed was an NDA. But later, Rose realized it didn't actually prevent her from speaking, so she began to do exactly that. She spoke loud, clear, and relentlessly, calling out the people and institutions she felt had enabled Weinstein's abuse or tried to cover it up. Rose has alleged that Weinstein kept what was essentially a hit list of enemies. She says she was on it. According to her, he paid certain media outlets and hired former intelligence operatives to dig up dirt on his accusers and discredit them publicly. These efforts, she says, weren't just to protect his image, they were to destroy lives. She often compares Hollywood to a cult, not just metaphorically, but in a way that echoes her own upbringing in the controversial Children of God group. To her, both environments were built around secrecy, manipulation, power, and punishing anyone who dares to speak out. Before all this, Rose was a recognizable face in Hollywood. She'd built a strong career with breakout roles in films like Scream and on the TV show Charmed. But after speaking out, the offers dried up. The phone stopped ringing. And despite being one of the central voices in exposing one of the industry's biggest scandals, she was largely cast aside. In her memoir Brave, she details her experiences with assault, trauma, and the efforts made by people within the industry to convince her not to pursue justice. She describes moments where even allies warned her to stay quiet, hinting at just how deep and interconnected the system of silence really was. Rose hasn't held back in naming names. One of her more controversial statements involved Oprah Winfrey. Rose accused Oprah of being complicit in Hollywood's toxic culture, citing Oprah's past relationship with Weinstein and her decision to withdraw from a documentary about Russell Simmons' alleged misconduct. For Rose, these were not isolated choices, but part of a larger, more troubling pattern. She also criticized Ben Affleck, claiming he knew about Weinstein's behavior for years and chose to stay silent. And she's openly called out Jeff Bezos, alleging that Amazon ignored her warnings about Weinstein while developing projects connected to him. In the years since she went public, Rose has also talked about her mental health. She's been open about her struggles with depression and PTSD, making it clear that the toll of everything she went through wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. At one point, she shaved her head as a symbolic act, reclaiming her identity and rejecting the beauty standards Hollywood imposed on her and other women for so long. Eventually, she made a permanent move to Mexico. She says she found more peace and safety there than she ever felt in the US. In interviews and social posts, she's described the move as a way to escape the toxicity that, in her view, had become deeply embedded in American celebrity culture and media. Rose has also remained active in supporting other survivors. When Evan Rachel Wood came forward with allegations against Marilyn Manson, Rose voiced her support. Rose herself had dated Manson in the early 2000s, but she made it clear that her experiences were different, and that she believed Evan. For many people, Rose McGowan is still a controversial figure. She's known for being sharp, unapologetic, and unwilling to conform to expectations, even among other activists. But whether you agree with all of her tactics or not, it's hard to ignore the role she played in reshaping how Hollywood and the public talks about abuse, power, and accountability. Her story is not just about one man or one movement. It's about a system. A system that, according to her, punishes those who speak out, protects the powerful, and relies on silence to keep functioning. Rose challenged that system, and she paid a price for it. But in doing so, she helped open a door that many others have now walked through. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you found this interesting. And seriously, thanks for all the support. I'm still new to this, but I've been getting way more love than I expected, and it really means a lot to me.